Well, hello there, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Essential Education Livestream. I'm Jen Denton, the Student Success Coach here at Essential Ed, and we are happy to have you join us today. Whether you are an enrolled student, you're a potential student, maybe you're a teacher working with some of our students that are enrolled in one of the hundreds of thousands of schools and organizations that we partner with all over the world, then welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, as you see right here on the screen, we are going to be talking about the writing test overview, the writing component of your high school equivalency exam, all in that goal of getting your high school equivalency credential. We like to kick things off with a little bit of a starter question. So go on over to the comment section, wherever you're joining us from, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and go ahead and let me know, because I know you have one. I'll tell you what some of mine are. What is the one or maybe the one or two words that you always spell incorrectly? We all have one. Mine is the word available. I seem to, no matter what I do, never be able to spell the word available correctly. I'm moving around A's and I's. I'm flipping them all over the place. Management is another one that I have trouble with. I like to put an extra E or no E in there somewhere. So go ahead and let us know, just for fun, there in our comment section today. What is the word that no matter what you do, move heaven and earth, this is the word that you always spell incorrectly? Let us know. I'd like to see if we have some variety or some shared commonality today. We are going to be talking about the writing portion of your exam. And let's just be honest, this is a portion, like some of the other portions, that does strike a little bit of fear into the hearts of testers. So hopefully we're going to give you some words of wisdom and some advice and just an overall deep breath to let you know, A, that you are not alone in being a little nervous about this part of the exam. We know many of our students, this is not what you would consider to be your strong suit, the written word or the written language. We know that many students are second language learners. You are non-native English speakers, and so that poses an extra problem. And this is where I give you a huge amount of love. I cannot imagine taking this exam in a language or based in a language or about a language that was not my native language. So I give you guys extra kudos. I see you. You are known. You are valued. You are working hard, and anything we can do to partner with you to help you shore up those basic skills, we want to do that. So let's talk about this old adage. The best way to pass is to prepare to pass. Any of those nervous feelings that you have, any of those anxious thoughts, can all be quieted a little bit by knowing what to expect on the test, what skills are going to be assessed, and how you can best grab those resources to prepare for that exam. So we want to give you a little bit of that knowledge and then give you some links and some connectors to some of those resources today. So the first thing in getting ready to prepare for your test is to know what the test makers of your test will expect. And right now in the United States, there are 2 exams that you can take to fulfill the requirements to get your high school equivalency credential. And those tests are the GED and the HiSET. Task is no more. We have phased that out in the remaining states, and now we are just focused on 2 exams, GED and HiSET. So let's talk a little bit about just the writing portion and how that differs between the 2 exams. If you live in a state where you get to choose, then maybe you want to take some of these things into account. And if you live in a state where the state tells you which one to take, then make sure you pay attention when we get to your test. And if you aren't sure which exam you need to take, you can double check your state by logging on to essentialed.com and clicking the help menu, and then click where to test. Just double check, make sure that the exam you're studying for is actually the exam that's required in your state. Or maybe you have a choice. So we're going to talk about both today. Let's start with the GED. When it comes to the GED writing section, the first thing you should know is it is combined. It's smushed together with the reading section. So it is the GED reading and writing section. GED then has 4 overall subjects exams, and the HiSET has 5, but you're not getting out of anything one way or the other. In the GED, it just means that reading and writing are smushed together in this one exam. So it is a combo exam. And on this exam, 80% of what you're testing on is reading comprehension, all of the skills that come along with that. And then the remaining 20% is the writing portion. For the overall exam, you will have 150 minutes. You'll have 46 questions of multiple question types. That's an important difference between the GED and the HiSET. GED likes to ask questions in lots of different ways. Sure, primarily you're going to see multiple choice questions, but you're also going to see questions that you interact with there in that computer-based format, because most of GED, 98% of the GED will be computer-based. The only exception will be maybe a few smattering of test centers in New York, but for years, GED has been computer-based. Because of that, they can and will ask a lot of variety in their questions. Still primarily multiple choice, but also radio buttons, drag and drops, fill in the blanks, what I like to call twofer questions, where there'll be two blanks in one question and you have to answer both correctly and completely. Don't leave one of them blank to get that full credit. So GED has a lot of test question variety. So there'll be 46 questions in there that are of a reading and a writing nature. And then for the writing portion, you'll have about 45 minutes of that time allotted to one written essay. It's just one essay. If you're taking it in that computer-based format, then you'll be typing out your essay in a little screen function. I encourage you to get familiar with that interaction, the copy and paste, all of the different types of things that you'll interact with in that, as a manner of getting that full preparation. And then, of course, like all of the other aspects of the GED, your score to pass will be 145 out of 200 at minimum. Remember, you get 100 points just for putting your name on the test, and then you have to make up 45 more of those points. So just like all of the other subject section tests for the GED, you must score at least a 145 out of 200 to pass that combo reading and writing exam. And as always, we always want to put you in touch with your test provider. If you are taking the GED, then your national testing organization is right there. Right there. Let me get my hand on the screen right there. It is GED.com. This will be where you will go to get full and complete testing information. It's where you will go to set up your free account, register for the exam, choose a testing center, or maybe explore one of the at-home testing options. Make sure that you fully explore the at-home testing option to make sure that you have all the technical requirements and you're ready to go if you choose that at-home testing. It will involve you partnering with a proctoring agency. That's just a fancy word for the people that will watch you take the exam, and there will be someone there watching. So make sure that you understand that aspect if you're choosing to take the exam at home. All right, so that's GED, reading and writing in a nutshell. Let's talk a little bit about HiSET. For those of you that are mandated to take the HiSET in your state, like Louisiana or now West Virginia, or if you're choosing to take the HiSET, then we want to talk a little bit about the HiSET writing exam. Now, as we stated earlier, different from the GED because it is its own separate exam. Reading will be a separate exam and writing will be a separate exam. It's a single exam, just meaning one. For the writing exam, you will have 120 minutes to answer 60 multiple choice questions. Yes, you heard me correctly. Only one question type on the HiSET. That's the same across the board. All of HiSET is multiple choice. Cut and dry, you know what to expect. Still, level of difficulty, the same between HiSET and GED, but you know what to expect as far as that singular question type, and you'll have 60 of those questions on the HiSET. And then of that 120 minutes, you will have about 45 minutes for that written essay. Just like all of the aspects of the HiSET, your score to pass here is going to be that 8 out of 20. 8 out of 20. Remember, that doesn't just mean, as we just talked about, that there's only 20 questions. Not the case at all. Just means that they're weighted a little bit differently. So your score to pass that writing section will be 8 out of 20. So those are the differences and some of the unique characteristics of the GED and the HiSET for the writing section. Let's talk about the things that are in common. Oops, and before we do, don't want to leave our HiSET testers hanging. This is your national site for the HiSET. If you want to register for your exam, check out those testing centers. The other unique thing about HiSET is there are some testing centers where you can still take the written exam. It's going to be that old school, bubble in the dots, fill in the Scantron sheet, and in that essay. So just something to be aware of. And on that HiSET site, you'll be able to see which section of the testing center is computer-based and which testing centers are written. They have little symbols there. The computer-based centers will have a little computer icon, and the written centers will have a little pencil icon. So do check that out. Make sure that you bookmark that site if you are a HiSET tester. Okay, now let's talk about the things that the tests have in common. No matter which exam you are taking, those individual questions are going to be based on language skills. Okay, and let me repeat that. No matter which exam you're taking, the individual questions about writing before you get to the essay are going to be based on language skills. It's why if you are a student enrolled with Essential Education, you will not just see your 5 subjects, reading, writing, math, science, and social studies for your preparation. You will see a 7th subject pulled out, and it is language. We believe that language is the glue that holds both reading and writing together. So we want to make sure that you get some concentrated preparation and review in that area. The language skills that will be tested are things like grammar, capitalization, punctuation, apostrophes, commonly confused words, some of maybe those commonly misspelled words, subject-verb agreement, correct sentence structure, etc., etc., etc. And the primary way that you are going to be asked to evaluate these skills is by editing sentences. You'll be looking at sentences, and the question may say, which of the following things would you do to correct the above sentence? Or, is the above sentence correct? So it's being able to spot those common writing conventions. And for many of us, we just need a refresher. We just need a, hey, let's get some of this back in our head, because honestly, a lot of those writing conventions you may not have seen since late elementary school. And I don't know about you, but that was a long time ago for me. And I would need a refresher there. So don't get discouraged and don't lose heart. You just need a refresher there in those language skills. Another thing that is similar in both exams with a little bit of a difference is that your essay will be what is referred to as an argumentative essay. Now, this doesn't mean somebody's going to fight, but it does kind of mean that you are fighting for an opinion, or at least an author is fighting for his or her opinion, or fighting for a certain purpose. What an argumentative essay means is that you are going to read 2 passages, and those 2 passages are going to come from 2 different authors, but they will be on the same topic. But their opinions will be vastly different. The example I always like to give is you might read one example from an author that says, the country is the best place to live. Yeehaw, darn tootin', everyone should live out in the woods. And they tell you all the reasons why living in the country is the best place to live, as opposed to another author who thinks, no. The best place to live is in the city, where you've got lots of shopping and nightlife and theater and all of these wonderful things to explore. That's the best place to live. Okay, so 2 different authors, same topic. What is the best place to live? But they have 2 totally different opinions. That's an argumentative essay setup. But here is what is different. The GED will ask one type of question, and the HiSET will ask a different type of question. The GED will ask you which author has the strongest argument and why. What does that mean? It means after you read the person that wrote about all of the reasons why you should live in the country, did they give good support for that? Did they give lots of evidence? Did they give details? Or did they just say, everyone should live in the country because I think so? You got to have those details and arguments to set up your opinion or your purpose for writing. So you want to make sure that whichever you choose, whichever idea, whichever author you choose, that they are putting forth details and evidence, and you are noting those in your essay. So GED will ask which of those authors has the strongest opinion and why. And you want to choose the one that not only fights for their opinion, but gives you really good details, really argues, see where the origin comes from, really argues and tries to convince you that their opinion is correct. Okay. So that's what GED will look like. HiSET will be a little bit of a different ask. It's going to be a different prompt. That's what essay writers like to say. The HiSET will again give you those same two authors, same topic, different opinions, but they will then ask you for your opinion on the topic. They will ask you which one of those you would choose and why, citing details and evidence from the text. So it's the same setup. It's that same concept of an argumentative essay, but it is a different ask. It is a different prompt. The essay skills that are going to be evaluated in both are application of those language skills. In other words, everything that you were just asked to edit and all the questions that you were just asked to apply to those language skills, they will want to see you emulate. They will want to see you put into use as a writer in that essay section. They also want to see you just develop a main idea. What is the main idea? And then back it up with clear, organized thoughts, your own details and evidence. Okay, so that's the essay skills in a nutshell. But I have a great announcement today. We always end these times together with you can do this and we can help. And we have a very specific help. We're not going to leave you hanging with this essay portion. We are going to follow up today's live stream with another live stream next Monday, specifically focusing on how to best organize your essay. We're just going to give you some main points, and I'm very excited to announce that one of our fantastic student advisors, Cassie, is going to be here. Maybe some of you have met Cassie when you called our student advisory line. She also heads up our grading team. She is wonderful, very kind and very detailed oriented. And she will be here to just talk about some very practical things that our essay graders look for when they are grading your practice essays. That's a wonderful opportunity for me to say, yes, if you are an enrolled student with Essential Education, you can practice writing your essays and have real life humans give you feedback before you go into that official test day. Cassie heads up that team for us, so she'll give you some things that our essay graders are looking for in your practice essays. And guess what? They're the exact same thing that the official test graders are looking for when they evaluate your official essay. So next week is not a live stream that you want to miss. And of course, we'll keep it on the channel. So if this is during your work time or during a time that's not convenient to you, then you can come back and watch it later. But hit like or subscribe on whatever channel you're joining us from, so you'll get an alert for that reminder. We really want to walk alongside you with that essay, and this is a wonderful opportunity. Speaking of those student advisors, if you'd like to call someone right now to learn more about our programs and services, to learn more about what you need to do to enroll as a student with Essential Education, then just call this number right there on the screen. We have that whole team. You can even ask to talk to Cassie. We have a whole team of student advisors there that are willing and able to help you. And then if you'd like to just explore a little bit on your own, then you can learn more at essentialed.com/students. The biggest takeaway that we want you to have today is that you really can do this. And we can help. We can help you just by giving you the refresher. That's the word I like to use, because for many students, this is just going back and remembering some of those basic skills and how to put them to use in a testing environment. And then knock out these exams, get that credential in hand, and then move forward with your educational work or extended education goals and dreams. Thanks so much for joining us today. Let us know how we can help. Reach out online, reach out at the student advisory number. We want to be your partner in education. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.